Hi, and welcome to a weekend bonus reading. The bonus reading is, will they make a move or should I? But before I begin, I'm excited to announce that this week the channel hit 10,000 subscribers. I'm so thankful for your support and feedback that I've decided to run a celebratory sale to give back to my viewers. So here's the deal. The sale started yesterday and is limited to the first 100 customers, okay? They are going super fast, so be sure to take advantage of it while you can. For $10, you can ask one question about anything you want and receive a private email reading with a thorough analysis and answer to your question. To find out more about the sale, go ahead and visit the link located in the description. But I don't want to waste any more of your time. So this is a really popular request, and I'm looking at my notebook here. We've got, I hope I pronounce these right. We've got Isa Parcheta that asked, should I chase them or should they chase me? We have Kyria Hips asking, what's their next move? Pam A asks, is he gonna take, is he gonna talk to me or be the one to start the relationship? And Kanchan Sakdev asks, will he approach me, and if so, when? Okay, so I've decided to kind of condense all of those down into, will they make a move or should I? Okay, so that said, I just want to tell you a little bit about the reading. I'm going to be looking at both of your energy, the energy of the relationship, and I also have some cards out that I pulled just to make sure that we could get a time frame too. So we're going to be looking at a time frame as well. The time frame is going to be the time based on when you watch the video, okay? So if this happens to go up on the 12th of January 2019 and it's March in 2021, it'll be the time frame that you see from then, okay? Alrighty, so we've got pile number 1 is the Tiger's Eye, pile number 2 is the Turquoise, pile number 3 is the Lapis Lazuli, pile number 4 is the Citrine, and pile number 5 is the Carnelian, okay? So while you guys are picking that, I just want to go ahead and let you guys know everything you need to know about me is in the description, alright? And you know, again, this is supposed to be for love, but it can be for any kind of other situation too. This doesn't have to be about will they make the first move in love. It could be, you know, like something needs to be done between you and your spouse, and you don't know who should, you know, if you should let them approach it or if you need to bring it up again, you know, that kind of thing. It can apply to just about any kind of situation, but I will be reading for love. So just kind of keep that in mind, all right? Okay, that said, let's go ahead and get started with pile number 1, the Tiger's Eye, okay? I'm going to move the other piles out of the way. I'm going to actually put some of them off camera. So we have enough room here, okay? All right, pile number 1. Okay, should you make the first move or should they? Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords, we have the 8 of Cups, we have take action, communicate clearly, we have attention, we have power, and we have the root chakra, loyalty, and sensuality. Okay, so let me kind of arrange these a little bit here. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. I feel like you're kind of at the point where it's like you want things to make sense, okay? And you want there to be something you want there to be something solid here, okay? You just want to make a decision and go with it, and you don't want to waste your time, okay? And I feel like you're feeling really emotionally bankrupt right now, like you don't have a whole lot of patience in this situation, and you don't have a whole lot of, oh gosh, it's almost like you don't have a whole lot of hope, okay? And you know, or you're worried that, you know, maybe you're holding on or something like that. You know, you don't have a whole lot of hope for this situation. Okay, I think that in your situation, you should take the first move. Okay, the viewers, you guys should take the first move. I have, you know, with take action and communicate clearly, I do feel like that is, you know, that definitely says you should take the first move. You know, so let's talk about the communicate clearly. That's just saying that when you do talk to your person, make sure that you are really representing what really is in your heart, okay? Because we've got this loyalty card here that I'm kind of interpreting in this situation as being, you know, take authentic action, okay? Be loyal to your feelings, okay? And, you know, for example, and I'm just giving this as an example as something that a lot of people do. I know because I've done it before, okay? You know, there have been times where I've had a crush on somebody and I've said, you know, I've told them, you know, hey, I like you. And then what I'll do is that I'll just not talk to them for 3 days because I don't want to smother them, you know, and I'll wait to text or call, or I'll wait to send them an email. And then when I do, I'll kind of pace myself and all of that kind of stuff. Nah, that's not what somebody who likes somebody does. Somebody who likes someone will follow up and you know, and be like, so what do you think about this? You know, or whatever, you know, show them that you like them if that's what you want to say. So with communicate clearly, it's not just make your words clear, but it's also your action, okay? Stay true to yourself, okay? There is a lot of sexual energy here between the two of you, which is, well, it's like, okay, it could be sexual. I'm assuming that it's sexual with the root chakra here. You know, but when the word's actually sensuality, so I do want to make sure that you guys know, like, this person finds you very, very attractive, okay? So there's not, you know, it's not like you have anything to worry about when it comes to that, okay? They are attracted to you. So that's something that should kind of help you, you know, maybe give you a little bit extra nudge to make this decision, okay? And then it's like we've got attention. I wanted to draw a card to kind of explain what's going on with your other person. It's like you've got their attention, but they're like scared. They're like a deer in the headlight right now. You know, so don't think that they don't know you exist. They know, but it's just they don't know what to do with that at this point. Okay, they really. It's like, I mean, it's kind of like, wow, okay, so I know that this person exists and I know that they're awesome and all of that kind of stuff. Or, oh, I know my spouse wants me to do something. Or, you know, I know my girlfriend wants me to do something. Or, you know, boy, my boyfriend sure is hot. You know, that kind of thing. You've got their attention, right? But at the same time, they're still, it's like they're watching to see what's going to happen next. It's like they're very, and it's not because they don't care about it. It's because they're kind of entertained by it, which is kind of weird, but like that's the way it is, you know? One thing that I do feel is definitely evident with the Queen of Swords and the Power card is that you have a lot more power in the situation than you think, okay? Just understand that your power is more about sharing and communicating than it is about the heart area right now, okay? Because we're looking at the now, okay? And so, you know, kind of keep in mind that with you know, you kind of feeling, you know, emotionally bankrupt, if you're aware of the chakras, you know, just the principle of them, okay? I'm not saying that you have to believe in it, but you know, there's heart energy and then there's throat energy, and the throat energy is talking about thoughts and communication, clear communication, speaking your truth and that kind of thing. I feel like this is very much in the throat chakra area. So if you want to do some research on the throat chakra or whatever, that's kind of like the energy that I'm getting, okay? And then we've got the root chakra, okay? So I'm going to totally contradict myself, right? So let me go ahead and just read what's on the card, because I think that it's important to know that first before I give you any of my intuitive advice, okay? The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on the physical plane, both in our bodies as well as in the physical world. So when we talk about sensuality, you know, we talk about the five senses, right? And when we describe somebody as sensual, it's because they're appealing to all of our senses, right? The root chakra is a lot like that too, okay? And, you know, it's not just the sensate world of the five senses, but it's also like, you know, hunger and desire and thirst and being tired, you know, or feeling energetic, that kind of thing. So I really feel like right now it's like it's almost like you guys you need to do this in order to kind of get back, you know, to, I almost want to say back to reality, but to get yourself grounded again, to get yourself feeling like, okay, I'm not weird, or things aren't really that strange, you know, that kind of thing. So really pay attention to what's going on with them, but also know that it's kind of it's on you to take action. Now, I think that for some of you, this is going to be something you can do like today or tomorrow, okay? And then I think for some of you, it's going to take a little while for you to kind of get your thoughts together and all of that. So I do want to say that this is going to, like, the timing on this is going to be like, you've got to take action sometime between today and the next 7 weeks. I know that's a really long time, you know, it might seem like that, but you know, you might feel like you still need to gather up the energy to communicate clearly with this person, and that, and by that you can you know, communicate your needs and your desires as clearly as possible. And also it might give you some time to kind of fill up this emotional bank as well. So you can bring that kind of energy into it, because I mean, you do want to connect on the heart, right? In the heart area. So make sure that you know, understand that it's not like you have to act immediately, but ultimately you will be the one that needs to make that move, okay? All right, so we're going on to pile 2, those that pick the turquoise stone. Alrighty, guys, so we have the 2 of Cups, and we have Death, right? We have big, happy changes, okay? So we've got change twice. So pay attention, you know, when things come up twice in a reading, you know, the energy there is much, much stronger than in other. And then we have it be assertive. This is so awesome. We've got anger. The reason I think it's awesome is because it's like, oh, it just gets down to the raw emotions, you know, it gets into that shadow. We've got celebration, okay, big happy changes, celebrate, you know, that kind of thing. Empowerment. Boy, this sounds good. We've got stability and, wow, true love. Okay, guys. So let's go ahead and look at this. When we have the 2 of Cups energy, this is basically, in addition to the Lovers, okay, and maybe the World, this is going to be like the best card to get if you want, if you're looking for a romantic relationship reinforcement, basically. Like, yes, this is a level where it is, for those of you who are, like, have a crush, but you haven't maybe talked to this person much or whatever, this is the potential. And for those of you who, you know, maybe this is a really close friend, or maybe this is somebody that you are really, like, interested in, and you've kind of known them for a while and that kind of thing, or this is your spouse, you know, you're in the right relationship, okay? This is definitely the right relationship for you. There is changes, but do understand that that's not necessarily in conjunction with changing this energy, you know, because, and I know that because we have the true love card. And again, I'm just going to go ahead and put this right here. Again, when we have the true love card, okay, and we also have the 2 of Cups, I mean, when we have 2 energies that are that strong, it's like, it's important, okay? It's really, you know, this is true, okay? This is really happening. We also have stability, which is really great, because I feel like, well, I want to talk about anger last, okay, because I really like that card. I know it might sound like I'm kind of weird, but, like, I'll get to it. So yeah, I mean, the stability, like, sometimes when we hear that there's going to be change, because stress is change, we might get kind of stressed, like, oh no, I mean, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to have to go through, like, a tower moment, for example, or anything like that. I really feel like the change is for the better because you're going to feel so much more stable once you go through this change, okay? So it's going to be a big happy change. It's not going to be necessarily a negative change. We do have be assertive, and that kind of gives me the idea that maybe you would have to kind of gently move this along by you know, telling them what's going on. But I'm actually getting that this is kind of an either or. Okay? It's going to happen regardless. So if you do it, then that'll take, you know, it'll take a little bit. It's like, I mean, really, I'm getting between 2 and 6 weeks as far as when this is going to be resolved. Okay. Like when this is going to kind of come together and that kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, this is, and for some of you guys, I'm getting like immediately. Okay. I'm getting like, you know, very, very soon, like within days. Okay. So, just be aware that it's going to be, it's going to be happening, yeah, it's going to be happening in a way that's like, doesn't really matter who goes first, you know, like who takes that action. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a whole lot of information here, and I'm just trying to process it as fast as I can talk, which is kind of funny. It's like, it doesn't really matter who takes the lead because it's going to happen either way. I feel like it's going to just feel really natural for you to make that gesture that that needs to be made, or it's going to be like that point where, you know, somebody's going to take action here. Okay. I mean, it doesn't matter who. It's like, it's going to happen either way because you've got this like really intense love energy, and you've got the Two of Cups. So I mean, this is a big deal. Okay. Then we have celebration. One thing, I mean, I feel like the celebration is just reinforcing the happy changes is going to be positive and all of that kind of stuff. Again, we have two energies that are very strong. So this reading right here is very solid. Okay. You know, if you want that extra, like, if you want that, I'm sorry, again, I'm getting so much information here. If you want like validation, that extra validation that you're in the right situation and this is an okay situation, this is what you're supposed to be doing, this is what you're supposed to be focusing on, I mean, you've got it, okay? We've got true love and the Two of Cups. We've got big happy changes and celebration. We've got change and we've got changes. You know, seriously, we've got a lot of that great stuff. With celebration, I just want to mention that this might have something to do with actually going out in a situation where you're in public together. I mean, you guys might go to the same party, or you guys might go to the same get together as well. I don't feel like this is for all of you. I feel like this is for some of you. So kind of keep that in mind. Also, it would happen at night. It wouldn't be during the day. So if you are going to see them during the day at some kind of social thing, that's not what I'm talking about. And there's going to be something significant about this time where you are at the same place at the same time, somewhere at night, and it's some kind of like, it's either a party or a get together. It's like maybe the community's coming together, that kind of thing. You know, it's some kind of thing like that. Like it could be like a fair or a festival. Anyway, so yeah, so again, you know, the changes are going to bring stability, all right? And then we have empowerment. Okay, so this is definitely an interesting card to get, obviously. So the frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. Okay, so again, we've got another validating card that, you know, it's like, you know, you guys are supposed to be together. This is supposed to be happening, okay? At least in the now it is, you know. I'm not saying that because I'm getting intuitively that this isn't going to last. I'm just saying it that, you know, when you're looking at this situation right now, the energy is really ripe, okay? That doesn't mean you have to act immediately, but it's very ripe, and it's going to be so for about 6 weeks, okay? Then we've got this anger card, okay? So I pulled this card specifically to find out, you know, what's going on with your person, to kind of explain their behavior. Because since I didn't know if if, you know, with each pile, whether or not it was going to be you or the other person. I definitely didn't think it was going to be like either or, you know, I didn't think that would be one that comes up, but apparently this is what your answer is. I do want to say, like, I feel like this other person, you know, there's like two stories and they might both be true, okay, that goes along with this anger. And I know that this is the cat's inspirational oracle, but what I like about it is that it talks about like kind of that animalistic like drive within people, okay? So that's why I really love this deck. And I love cats. But I feel like this is something where your person might not be making the first move because either they think that they have made you upset somehow, and they're like overestimating how upset they think that they've made you, you know, or they're worried that you might get angry if they do, okay, and they definitely don't want to be on the other end of your anger, you know, they want to come together, they want this to be positive and all of that kind of stuff. So that's one explanation, okay? And then the other explanation is like, I feel like maybe there's something about this relationship that makes them angry with themselves, it could be that they're frustrated because they haven't come forward. It could be that they're angry because maybe they told themselves they wouldn't fall in love and now they have, or they've told themselves that, you know, that they shouldn't be in this relationship for whatever reason, you know. People can come up with really irrational reasons to not do things, okay? Like, for example, I won't move the laundry from the washer to the dryer if there are clothes in the dryer, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I can't do laundry because, you know, my guy left the clothes in the dryer and didn't finish up. You know, it's like, that's really irrational, and I recognize that and own that. But yeah, I mean, I really feel like it's more on the irrational side, okay? So either they're afraid that you're going to be angry, or that you already are angry, or they're kind of angry with themselves. This could also come out when we're talking about tension, you know, whenever there's tension between two people and it's like something needs to happen, and I'm assuming something needs to happen because of the title of this video, you know. Of course, you're coming here to find out, you know, who's going to make this happen, basically, you know, and it could just be that they're frustrated with the fact that this hasn't, you know, come to fruition yet. And so, you know, keep all of this, you know, in your mind, you know, as you're moving forward. Understand that, you know, for most of you, this is going to happen within the next 4 weeks, but I do have an indication that it could take up to 6 weeks. So do keep that in mind. And then for some of you, it's going to happen like within days. Okay. So yeah, you guys have, I mean, this is such a great reading that I want to take a picture of it to prove that I had this reading. Okay. Cause it's really, really great. You know, this true love and the Two of Cups, I just can't stress it enough. This is a really, really special relationship. Okay. Alrighty, guys. So you guys got a really good reading. Okay, those of you who picked the blue Lapis Lazuli, let's see what's going on. All right. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay, so let me go ahead and tell you every single card that we've gotten, okay? We've got the Six of Swords, we've got the Emperor, we have Wait and Look for a Sign, we have Escape, okay? We have Miracles. We have Coherence, we have Productivity and Hope. Okay, so your person's going to be the one that's going to make the first move, okay? And there's a lot of different reasons why I think that, but let me go ahead and explain that first. First, I'm getting the Emperor energy. I know that most of my viewers are female, and I am not saying that this isn't true for the males that are watching, or for the women that are watching that are asking for another female, okay? It's just the Emperor energy lets me know that you know, that your person is going to be the one to make the first move, okay? And that's what should happen, okay? And this is also counseling for you to wait, okay? So with those two combined, I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, okay? So look for a sign and wait. So what this is also counseling you guys to do is to, you know, while you're waiting for this to happen, really think about like all the really amazing coincidences that have happened between the two of you, and also the times where they've said something and they've kind of let some of their feelings slip, or they've kind of let some of their ideas slip about, you know, the issue where they're wondering if they're gonna make a move or not. They're going to take care of it, okay? They want to take care of it too, you know? It's not like they don't want to, okay? We also have this escape, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side because, I mean, I do have a lot to say about it, but I want to just kind of talk more about this waiting, okay? So you have hope, right? And I think that that's another thing that is kind of more counseling to you. The energy here says that between the two of you, you guys have hope, okay? So when you're waiting, it's not like there's not going to be other things going on. You'll be seeing all sorts of signs of, you know, the idea that they're going to be taking that move. Again, we have hope, and we also have productivity. So that lets me know that on one hand, there, you know, this relationship is going to, you know, it's going to be productive in what needs to be done, okay? This energy is very productive, okay? And then we also have, you know, while you're waiting, work on your stuff, work on what you need to get done. Because I know, I mean, and I'm speaking from my own experience, okay? I'm not speaking as a result of talking to lots and lots of people. I'm speaking from my own experience that I know that when I sometimes have really strong feelings, okay, whether they're positive or negative, it can totally eclipse everything else that's going on in my life. And it makes me not be as productive because of that. You know, I have to ground, or I have to, you know, deal with the emotions, you know, in a way that, you know, is healthy and makes me feel like my equilibrium is back and all of that. So this is really counseling towards, you know, trying to get some of your stuff done, okay? I haven't really spoken much about the Six of Swords. What I feel about this one is that it's like, your person might be traveling, or they might travel a lot for work, okay? And then another thing is that this might be a long distance relationship. Whenever I see boats, whenever I see water, that lets me know that there's a distance there, okay? This one, if it's not a long distance relationship, it might seem like there's a distance of like-mindedness between the two of you. Like maybe the two of you think very differently. That's something that your person likes, though, okay? And you do have, I mean, it's weird because you do have connection. Definitely. I'm not saying that you don't. It's just that there's some, like, major ways where you think very differently, and it's very complementary, okay? And also, the sixes, I do want to say that that's aligned with the Lover's energy, okay? And it tends to bring harmonious stuff, okay? It's very harmonious, so kind of, you know, be aware of that. When we have a miracle card come up, it's like the miracle isn't so much that this is going to happen, but the miracle is that you are going to awake to the idea that this is possible, you know, and you know that it's possible when it does happen, right? So the closer you can get to really believing that this is possible, the faster it's going to happen, okay? And I feel like there's a part of you inside that kind of knows that, yeah, there's something there. There is something that you can build off of. So I do feel like you do have that hope. You know, so yeah, I mean, and again, you know, when we have like looking for a sign and hope, you know, together, that's a really strong indicator that this is, you know, this is a really big influence right now on you guys, okay? And then also looking for a sign, hope, and miracles, it lets me know that it's kind of like the universe has it, okay? This is going to come together. You know, there's some kind of force that's bringing you together, okay? So we have coherence, and I think this is kind of a cute card, and I'll explain why. But let me go ahead and read the blurb on it, because I think it's really, these cards are just really well stated. So, the frequency of coherence supports our ability to harmonize the frequency of the heart with the frequency of the mind for an optimal ability to create the reality that we desire, okay? So, here's the deal, though. The Emperor energy isn't necessarily real strong when it comes to the heart, okay? So I feel like this is kind of this is kind of like an instruction and also like a caution. This letting you know they might not seem very coherent when they're coming forward towards you, okay? And when they're making that move, they might not seem, I mean, it's like you'll see that they're kind of anxious and awkward, and that, you know, and whether or not this is in person or online or via text or as a phone call, it's gonna feel like, you know, well, what are you trying to say here? This is kind of a signal to when this happens, fill in the gap with that heart energy a little bit, and be like, you know, oh, I really like what you're saying. Is there, you know, so can you give me some clarification on what you mean? You know, that kind of thing. You know, or just give them some kind of encouragement, you know, on that heart level. You don't have to be like, ooh, I like you too. You don't have to do that unless you want to. I mean, really, be you. But what this is speaking to, I think, is just bringing that heart energy there so they can kind of get in touch with their emotions. Because when we speak to other people on an emotional level, then they're able to access their emotions better. And I mean, just, you know, if you wonder, like, you know, well, how can I really know that? It's like, just think about what happens when we get into arguments with people. You know, we come, you know, they come at us with negativity, we come at them with negativity, and it's like it escalates really quickly, you know. So that's kind of another way of using that same principle, but using it in a more positive way. All right, so we've got the Escape card, and I think this is really interesting. I pulled this because I wanted to know what kind of energy was going on with your person that might explain their behavior around this situation. Okay, so we've got the Six of Swords and the Escape card, which kind of look a lot like similar when we look at the imagery here. Okay, I just feel like this has to do with they're worried that they could lose you, or they're worried that you could leave, and they don't want to let that happen. Another side of this is, especially if you guys are in a long distance relationship or there's a lot of movement around you guys, like this person travels for work or something like that, or maybe you do. It's like sometimes maybe they're not around because of that, or maybe they can't be around because they live like a whole world away from you, that kind of thing. But just know that they don't want to get away from you. They just want to get out of there. I mean, like, really, this is more about them wanting to get out of their situation so they can make this happen, okay? Because they are going to be the one to come forward, all right, guys? So, as far as a time frame, I would look for that. I would actually say this is more a matter of days than weeks. Just want to make sure that, okay, so for some of you guys, it's going to happen like within the next 5 or 6 days, okay? Like, this is going to be coming forward that quickly. And then for others, it feels like it's going to be more like 4 weeks from now, okay? Or within 4 weeks. So do keep that in mind, because I mean, the biggest energy as far as like what they're going to do is going to be linked to the Emperor, and the Emperor's number is 4. So really keep that in mind. I really think that 4 weeks is the most you're going to have to wait for any kind of result. But you know, again, I really feel like this is going to happen kind of quickly. So for a lot of you, it's going to be within a week, okay? For others, if it's not that quickly, it's going to be about 4 weeks at the most, okay, guys? This looks like a really positive situation. And I think that it's going to make you guys feel a lot better that your person makes that move, because it makes you feel so much more calm knowing that they want this, okay? Whatever it is that needs to be taken care of, they do want it, okay? All right. Those of you who picked pile number 4, here is your reading. Okay. All right. So we have Justice. Okay. We have the Knight of Wands. All right. We have Peaceful Resolution. We have Success. We have Help. We have Serenity. We have Divine Feminine. Okay, we have Shadow Work and Harmony. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, let me just kind of get an idea of what's going on here and just kind of gather my thoughts. Because, I mean, I see so many different things going on. Okay, first off, this is a very balanced relationship. Like, you guys think alike more than you know about the situation, okay? Whatever it is that you're doing, whether it's like starting a relationship or agreeing on where to go for vacation or figuring out who is going to pick what you have for dinner tonight, you guys are more on the same mind, okay? So if somebody is all like, okay, I want tacos, the other person was probably thinking that they wanted tacos too, right? Even if it's not Tuesday, all right, guys? So that's something that's kind of cool there, is that you guys have that balance. Another thing that this speaks to is fairness, okay? So really remember that the energy that you put out is the kind of energy that you're going to be getting back from this person, okay? So this Serenity card plays into that, okay? I'll get to that later, though, because I want to talk about the Knight of Wands. This lets me know that when it does happen, it's going to happen really quickly, okay? We also have success. We also have peaceful resolution, okay? So we do know that this is somebody's gonna make a move and it's gonna be successful and you guys are gonna be able to move forward, okay? To kind of emphasize that more, we've got harmony. So when we see an energy come up that, when you see this energy come up that is repeated, we've got harmony, success, and fairness and balance here. So we know that this is kind of like the overriding energy of what's going on here, because this is the biggest influence here, okay? So what I think this means basically is that, and this is such a frustrating answer, I don't feel like this is really about who's going to make the next move. It's just that you guys are going to naturally make that together, okay? However, I feel like you are probably going to experience the other person making the first move, okay? Because this is a little bit more, and I'll explain that this is a little bit more masculine energy. I understand that a lot of my viewers are male and a lot of my viewers are females who are in same-sex relationship. I understand that there's a lot of different kinds of relationship that I'm reading for right now, and I don't want to dismiss that. But I do feel that since I do know that most of my viewers are female, and this is such a masculine energy, that it's most likely going to be your person, okay? And I would say that that's true for like 95% of you. So most of you guys, you're going to be fine to, I guess, wait, if you want to call it that, because this is going to happen, okay? This is going to happen, now, okay? This card's supposed to talk a little bit about some of the issues that are going on that's kind of preventing this from happening. I think that both of you guys have been through a lot of just like traumatic experiences. I can't really say it any other way. I mean, it's like you guys have really been confronting that the darkness inside of you, and it's not like you've been confronting it with the idea to attach to it. Because some people will become aware of their darkness and then attach to it, and then they'll kind of go into even more dark places, okay? I don't feel like it's like that. I feel it's more productive, okay? Because we have this serenity. I feel like the shadow work is more like you're facing some of that stuff that's been ingrained in you for a really long time. You're facing the parts of yourself that you kind of don't want to admit exist, but they're there. And you're facing some of the things that you maybe might not have wanted to look at in other times of your life, right? This shadow work, I feel, is really important because, like, when you're able to stare at something that's part of your shadow and be calm about it while you stare at it, then you not only gain insight about yourself, obviously, but you get insight about everybody else, because everybody's got this shadow stuff to deal with, okay? But the reason I feel like there might be something maybe exceptional about you and your person is like either your shadow work is really, really similar, or the nature of maybe some trauma that happened is really similar. And the reason I know you just want to know if they're going to make a move, or you should. This is kind of where you've been, though, okay? And I think that it's really important to remember that this is why it hasn't happened yet, okay? Because you guys have both been processing a lot of darkness to get to this point, okay? Because you know, when you feel like somebody should have made a move, or maybe you should have done something and you don't know, it's like I know that it can be, you know, sometimes the question is, when are they going to make a move, and what's been holding them back so much, you know? Well, it's just been this shadow work, okay? You guys have been busy with that. So we have peaceful resolution and we have serenity, okay? When we have repeating ideas, you know, like the harmony and the kind of balance with justice, and we've got serenity and peaceful resolution. It lets me know that, you know, it's okay. You're going to be very calm with this situation. You're going to be very, you know, this isn't anything that you should worry about, okay? So if you do feel a little bit worried about whether or not this is going to happen, just know that it is, okay? Just know that this is going to happen. It's most likely going to be your person. And if it's not, it's going to be you and your person together reaching that, okay? So we've got the Divine Feminine. I think a lot of people know what that means. These cards, I found that these blurbs are really kind of right on. You know, they hit more than they miss. So I'm going to go ahead and read it. The frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. Here's the deal. We've got your person moving forward with a lot of masculine energy, okay? Regardless of your gender, your person's going to be pursuing, okay? Your person's going to be advancing. They're going to be probing. They're going to be doing all of that kind of stuff, right? And then we've got Divine Feminine. I really feel like this is one of those things where you've got to understand that the best way of... it's like, I'm sorry, I'm just kind of gathering my thoughts here. The best way to respond to this kind of ultra masculine energy is to be that divine feminine that yields. You know, what is the nature of being female? What is the nature of being feminine? It's someone who creates a void which the other person can only, you know, all the way that they can handle that is to fill it. Like, it pulls them in, okay? It's being kind of mysterious, calm, collected, you know, all of that kind of stuff. If you want to pursue this kind of energy a little bit more, of course, you know, any kind of search is going to, you know, on Google or whatever, is going to bring up, you know, some information there, okay? Or just think about how you conceive of femininity, because, you know, this is personal to you guys too, you know? Yeah, it's a general reading, but if you just kind of think about what does feminine energy look like to you, and then follow that, okay? And then we have help. Okay, I feel like this kind of is connected to the shadow work, and this is also connected to like moving forward, and this might be why the harmony is coming up, okay? This is kind of, I drew this card specifically to find what that kind of core, almost animalistic instinct is within your person. And that's why I love this deck so much, because it's, you know, we're looking at something from the perspective of cats, right? It's a cat's inspirational oracle deck, right? And it's like deep down inside of your person, they just want help. So I feel like this is kind of like what they're looking for is signals from you that it's okay for them to come forward, looking at signals from you that you'd be happy for them to come forward, and also just, you know, helping them through their darkness. I mean, because I feel like you both have done this, but yeah, helping you through your darkness, okay? So, as far as you guys go, we have 21 twice here. And like I said before, when you have two of the same things come up in a reading, then that's usually very important. We also have 11, okay? So I do feel like this is going to happen between the 11th and 12th of either next month, which is February, or March, okay? I don't think that you're going to have to wait past March 12th, okay? For those of you who are watching this and are uncertain about what that means for you guys, and maybe you're watching it on a different day or a different year that this has been put up. I do think that this is speaking to the next month. You know, if the 12th hasn't happened yet this month for you, then it could be either the 11th or the 12th of this month, or next month, or 3 months from now, okay? So you've got the 11th or the 12th is going to be really important dates for you for the next 3 months, okay? And so that's going to be when you'll be looking at this, okay? So the most anybody is going to have to wait for, who's watching it in the now when I've just put it up, is going to be March, and the most people, other people that are going to be watching it at, you know, any time that they see it is going to be 3 months, okay? Alrighty. So yeah, you guys are fine. You've been doing a lot of work, and that builds such a strong foundation too. So you're fine. All right, those of you who picked the Carnelian, okay, we have your reading, okay? So you guys are pile number 5. Okay, so we have the Hanged Man, we have the King, we have in the near future, we have compromise, we have authority, we have focus, we have miracle, new insight, and higher heights. Okay, so this is really interesting to me because these both talk about, both of these talk about perception, you know, how you guys are perceiving the situation. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here. The Hanged Man in this situation is talking about somebody who's a little bit different from the norm, okay? It's also speaking to some stagnant energy. I feel like this is in the past, though. I feel like this is, either it's in the past or it's going to only happen for like today. And the reason I'm saying that is because this number is 12. This is going up on January 12th. So I do want to kind of mention that. But I also want to kind of move on from that because I feel like this is just almost like the cards being humorous, okay? So yeah, there's been some stagnation, but for those of you where it hasn't been a whole lot of stagnation, it's just talking about the character of your person, just kind of giving you that, that validation that this is the person you're supposed to be thinking about. We have the King of Swords. This person makes decisive comments and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, they make decisive decisions. I mean, like, okay, I guess that's redundant. I mean, when they make a decision, they know that's their decision, and it's like deliberate, okay? Like, they're very aware. Sometimes people, they kind of have an idea of what they're going to do, and then they kind of follow their idea. But it's like, this is more like, this is what they're going to do, and that's it, okay? So this is your person. Your person's going to be the one that's going to be more likely to make the move than you, okay? So look for your person to do that, okay? And look for them to do it in the near future, okay? However, I think that you guys are going to end up working some kind of compromise between the two of you. And the reason why I think that, and this is in relation to the question, okay? Who's going to move first, them or me? And we get the compromise. It's like, well, what does that mean? What that means is that your person's going to be moving forward first because we have the energy here and here, but I haven't talked about this card yet. But I feel like it's like they're going to make some of those moves and you're going to immediately kind of rush to give that support, okay? So I feel like the two of you are either just naturally very comfortable around each other, or you guys have been together long enough to, like, as soon as the other person starts to bend, it's like, okay, let's kind of talk about this and all of that kind of stuff. So I feel like this is going to be fine, but your person's going to be giving you the signals first, okay? So they're going to be making the first move, okay? One thing to know about your person is they are thinking about it. It's not like this isn't on their mind. They're thinking about it. They've actually worried a bit about it, okay? So this is definitely something they understand, and they do understand they have to do it quickly because they definitely don't want to lose you, okay? So we've got the Authority card. This is kind of interesting. When I think of the Authority card in this deck, I think a lot about the Emperor, okay? And I just think, and that's a very good echo of the King of Swords as far as, like, the same kind of energy. This person's, very decisive, kind of strict, might not be the most emotional person in the world. or might not be as in touch with their emotions as the average person, okay? You know, because I do feel like they have an intensity about them that is so incredibly, like, deep, that it's like this person does have emotion. You know, it's like I feel like they do have it, but it's like you have to unlock it. It's like there's 3 or 4 doors that you have to unlock until you get to that, but you can see it in their eyes. I know that that's oddly specific, especially when I'm talking about, you know, a very, very large amount of people that are going to be watching this, but I think you know what I mean. So this authority, you know, I really feel like they're the ones that actually want to lead this. They want to kind of be in control of this situation. Okay, we also have Miracle. And you know, I have my own ideas about what a miracle is, basically. I feel like instead of a miracle being something like, oh wow, this thing happened and it's so amazing because, you know, what are the odds of this happening? I feel like the real miracle is about recognizing that this was possible all along. So I feel like it's going to feel kind of like that. Like maybe you guys are from 2 different, I don't know, social classes, or you think that one of you guys, you know, looks better than the other, or you think that maybe one of you guys is really popular and the other one isn't so popular, or maybe you guys are from different, like, social groups, you know. I just feel like there's some kind of idea that the other person is somehow other, and because they're other, they wouldn't notice you, or they wouldn't actually, you know, come towards you. And it's weird because I feel like with this amount of focus that, like, they actually, it's like you even know that they're thinking about you, or at least you know that you've been on their mind before. So it's kind of an interesting feeling. Let me go ahead and read the blurb on this, because I really find the blurbs on these particular cards really telling. The frequency of miracles supports our belief in ourselves as part of the source, and therefore our belief that anything is possible. So that's very much aligned with what I was saying. Yeah, so yeah, keep that in mind. I do want to mention here, though, that you guys have a lot of heart energy there. You have a lot of heart energy, mind energy, and then you guys have a similar, like, vision, I guess. It's like maybe I don't feel like it's necessarily that every single one of you guys are going to be in the same religion. I don't feel like it's just, like, spiritual so much as it's like you have a lot of that same it's like you have a same vision of how you want to live your life, or how you want to go about doing things, okay? So this compromise might just have to do with the fact that you guys are similarly minded, you know, in that situation. And, you know, and again, this focus, it's so intense. It feels almost like scandalous, you know. So higher heights and new insight. This lets me know that on your end, you know, while you're waiting for this person to move forward, even though it's going to happen really soon, you're going to be like shown, like, a different perspective about this whole situation. That different perspective might end up affecting this compromise energy. But I feel like this is more for yourself. I feel like this is more like you're going to be getting, like, answers to some of the mysteries about this person, okay? And I think that's really interesting because I'm not getting anything here that makes me feel like what I'm telling you is particularly mind-blowing, you know? So this new insight and this higher heights, you know, you just be aware that the higher heights, you know, it goes with this eagle, okay? And then we've got, like, this hawk, right? So we have 2 birds of prey that soar really high in the sky, and they can see all of these different perspectives that we aren't able to see, right? So they can see from a completely different vantage point, and they're very sharp. You know, if you've ever seen one hunt, they just dive down on exactly what they want. It ends up to being like a little tiny mouse or something, and they're so high. It's like, how could they have possibly seen that? You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, the new insights and the higher heights have everything to do with kind of changing a perspective. It's like everything you know to be true, you know, it's true. It's got some truth in it, but it's going to be kind of turned sideways a little bit, and then you're going to see the layers of more truth there. I hope that that's, you know, at least somewhat easy to understand, because it's kind of hard for me to explain, because it's like, it's more like an energy than it is something that I can really, like, point to it and say, this is what it is. You know, it's like, it's just like a change in the way that you're viewing things. It's like an aha moment. It's like, oh, wow, wait a minute. You know, I've been looking at this all wrong. You know, or maybe not wrong. Wrong might not be the right word, because I do feel like you're very insightful about this situation. I just feel like it's like, you know, this new insight is going to really kind of put the pieces together and is going to make this, you know, happen really fine, really soon. In the near future, I tend to interpret that as within 2 to 3 weeks, okay? Some of you, it's going to be happening really quick, okay? Some of you guys, it's going to be happening very quick. In fact, I think that some of you guys that are actually watching this, it happened yesterday, like literally yesterday. So that's kind of a funny thing that I'm getting here. But yeah, it'll happen soon. Yeah, I would say like, yeah, 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, so this is a kind of quick thing that's going on. All right, guys. So look for your person to make a move, and then you can kind of meet them. All right, so as always, thank you so much for watching to the end. Thank you so much for the feedback, the subscriptions, obviously, because I'm so excited about the 10,000 subscribers. It's so great. Again, there's that sale. It's going to be in my description. It is limited to the first 100 people, and we've already sold at least a third of those, if not more. Okay, so do take advantage of that, and you know, keep the feedback coming. And if you have anything that you want to suggest, go ahead and do it. I will put it on my list, okay, guys? And I will get to it. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on Monday with the general reading.